I tell people I was working at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, everyone would have the stories like, I sit in turn 4 every year. Everyone gets really excited about it. And I found that people were the same with the Ace name. They would say, oh, I used to go there with my dad when I was a kid, or I just get such great service there. So that really energizes me in terms of this business. And then just understanding that I'm a woman. I care, obviously, but I care about how people are, when they come into my home. I want to feel safe. I want to feel comfortable. I want to know that I'm being treated with respect and professionalism. And so the idea that I could change the reputation of this industry with my customer experience background was really an exciting challenge, actually.
This episode is brought to you by me. Yes, by me, Victoria Odekomaya. I'm a brand photographer and strategist based locally here in Indiana. And I love helping women, small business owners, and professionals with side hustles build and elevate their brand. So if you're in the market and looking for someone that would thoroughly help you create a beautiful imagery for your brand and help you connect to your target audience, I'm your girl. So why choose me? Because I offer a beautiful, luxurious celebrity photo shoot experience for all of my clients. The celebrity experience includes professional hair and makeup, wardrobe styling. I serve wine and chocolate covered strawberries, and I'm playing your favorite music because it's important to me that you look and feel great to create the images that we know will truly connect with your audience. So what are you waiting for? If you're looking for photography to help you elevate your brand, call on your girl because I got you. Welcome to another episode of the Own Your Brand Show. If you're new here, my name is Victoria Odekomaya. I'm a brand photographer and strategist with a passion for helping small business owners be seen, known, and heard. And today, I have a wonderful guest with me, Rebecca Simon. I think one of the things that is unique about Rebecca is that she is in a male-dominated environment, but she's killing it. You know, she is a small business owner here in Indiana running the Ace Handyman Services. In our conversation today, I want to just kind of talk with Rebecca about taking us through our journey from where she started from, where she is now, where she's going, some of the challenges that she's gone through, and how she's marketing herself. And I hope you can get something from this, what I know would be an inspiring conversation. But so without much ado, let's get into it. Hi, Rebecca. How are you doing today?
Hi, Victoria. I'm great. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So I kind of have to start with, because I am a foreigner. Well, I am a citizen now. I'm an American citizen now, but I have to say that I find it fascinating that you're originally from Canada.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, I've been in Indianapolis about 23 years now. You probably heard my about there. But I love Indianapolis. This is my home. What's not to like? People are kind. There's always something to do. And what a great supportive network of women business owners I found here as well. But I always love to have my friends and family come down from Canada and learn about it here.
I agree with you. I think that I've been in Indiana for about 12 years, and I completely agree. The amount of support that you get with people, just so friendly, I feel like. And then the support around amongst women business owner is pretty good. So how often do you get to go back home?
I go back a couple times a year. I grew up in Ontario, so it's not too far. You can get there in 4.5 hours now. But my family's now in Montreal, so it's a little bit longer of a drive, but it's just really beautiful. And if anyone can get there, it's just a beautiful. It's beautiful in the summer. Let's just say that.
I tell us a little bit about your company. Like we started, but it's okay. Let's do a little introduction about what you do.
Yeah, Ace Handyman Services, it's a franchise. It's under the Ace Hardware brand, but they are independent franchise offices. I know it can be confusing that people think that franchises that are nationwide are not small businesses. They really, truly are. I am a woman-owned business, an Indiana-based business, and we just have craftsmen and handymen that go out into people's homes and businesses to just do those small things. You know, I think there's always that challenge of who do you call when you just have a list of 10 things that you just really don't want to get to or don't know how to do. And that's where we come in and be helpful.
Yes. And you know, it's interesting because I've heard a lot of people, even yesterday, as recent as yesterday, where we think we can DIY everything, right?
Mhm.
It's okay for certain projects, I think, but if you want to get it done and get it done right, I think
Yes.
you need the experts, and that's where you come in.
Absolutely, absolutely. The same service that you get in the Ace hardware stores are the same service that I commit to that you're going to get from our team. And the projects that we take on is really based on the skill set of the team we have. So we're not going to take on something we don't know how to do. So when you say expert, we're going to come in and do things right. And if it isn't done right, then you call me. I'll make sure it gets done right.
Yeah, let's call Rebecca in to, to make sure it's done right.
Yeah.
So, how does it feel like to be in this business as a woman where you are probably managing all men that are actually doing the work? Is that how that goes?
For the most part, I've had a couple of wonderful craftswomen on my team, and they've moved on to other things. But I would love it. What a marketing dream if I could have a whole team of women crafts ladies. But we bring on people that are going to not only do good work and know the skills, but deliver the service standards that I have. But it is a male dominated industry. Some of my background in my careers has been in banking, which was heavily male dominated. And then in the IndyCar racing and event business, also very male dominated as well. So this was not an unusual leap in terms of being able to navigate those relationships, but it's definitely been a leap in terms of a whole new industry and maybe the norms and terms and things that I didn't know about when I first opened up. So now I know.
Yeah, that's interesting because it seemed like almost majority of your career is being in male dominated industry. So how did you get into the IndyCar industry?
I'm so fortunate. What a blessing to have been in that industry, working both on the IndyCar side and the team side, and then also the racetrack side at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for over the last 15 years before I opened this business. I got into it when I was in banking, and a lot of my clients had been in the IndyCar industry. And someone, it's all who you know. And someone did help me get an interview at IndyCar. And a lot of people struggle with, like, how did you go from banking to working in events? But the transition was really all about relationship and all about customer experience. And so taking that knowledge that I had working with people and their accounts and their money and handling that with care, I took that to managing sponsorships and experiences at racetracks all over the world. And so it was really, and we're very close. May is coming. So the Indy 500 will be here before you know it.
So that's interesting. So you said Indy 500 is coming to in May, but you also have traveled all over the world. Like that is interesting.
How lucky, you get to go and travel on somebody else's dime, but it's the experiences. I went to Japan 3 times. I was to Brazil 3 times. I've seen the entire, United States, and everywhere you went, if you said Indy 500 or you said Indiana, they'd say Indy 500. That's what people know all over the world. And so it's really a source of pride. And, you see it in the community when the races happen here. 300,000 people in one place. I mean, my goodness.
That's a lot. Yes. So is that what brought you to Indiana?
Yeah, I moved here because I knew people in the racing and event business. And and so I've been to every Indy 500 since I've moved here 23 years ago. And I've worked the last probably 20 of them. So.
Wow. So how did you decide to go into the Ace Handyman services after all that wonderful experience?
Yeah. I just, the time at the racetrack, everything was sort of changing. I think everyone sort of has their own unique experience around COVID time. And so much of that transition, it left a lot of room for reflection when you're sitting at home working. And I did that. I reflected on, what was next. I've always been a little bit of a risk taker, and that will lead into my future when we talk about that later. But I feel like that was the time when I started looking at working with a franchise consultant, evaluating different options. And what I really liked about this business in particular was obviously the brand name. I love brands in particular. People understand that Ace lends itself to credibility and reliability. But when I tell people I was working at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, everyone would have the stories like, I sit in turn 4 every year. Everyone gets really excited about it. And I found that people were the same with the Ace name. They would say, oh, I used to go there with my dad when I was a kid, or I just get such great service there. So that really energizes me in terms of this business. And then just understanding that I'm a woman. I care, obviously, but I care about how people are, when they come into my home. I want to feel safe. I want to feel comfortable. I want to know that I'm being treated with respect and professionalism. And so the idea that I could change the reputation of this industry with my customer experience background was really an exciting challenge, actually.
I want to key in into that customer service too, because I know we were talking before we get started, we were talking about some of the challenges, and I love the way you put it in a positive way. Basically you being a woman, not even knowing how to hold it. Tell us about that.
Yeah. The irony really is that I'm not handy at all. I don't own tools. I don't even own a lawnmower. I've had the same landscaper for 15 years, and I don't want to be handy. I have a mad respect for the tradesmen that have these skills. They hone these skills, and it's my job, because I understand the customer experience part, that I'm not going to work on my business or in the business. I'm going to work on my business. So I'm not out there doing the projects, but I am caring about the experience and how consistent that is each time you welcome us into your home.
That's amazing. I think part of when it comes to building your brand, the experience, the customer service is so big. A lot of us focus on the marketing part of things and trying to get new clients in, but there's something to be said about how you make your clients feel, because then they become a natural referral source for you.
Yes.
Naturally. Wow, that's good. So tell us some of the basic, things that people can use your services for.
The benefit of our service is that it's a multi-skilled professional. So you don't just bundle your electrical projects together, or just your plumbing projects. You can make a list of just about anything, and we will find a way to be helpful. And if it isn't something that our team can do, we will help you find a reputable trade partner who can. So like I said before, we're never going to take on something we can't do, but you pull your list together, whether it's short or long, and then we can come in 2, 4, 8 hours and just work through that list and take it off your to-do list. So that's really exciting. But what we take on, if you're not sure if it's a handyman project, just give us a call and we'll decide. We'll work with you to figure it out.
I was getting ready to say that, because so it sounds like whether it's a small project, a big project, a lot of projects, or a long list of projects,
Yes,
you can help with that.
absolutely. Yeah. And we also just, we have a minimum 2-hour appointment, but, that's a great way for us to introduce ourselves to our clients for the first time and say, we can come in for 2 hours, do a small list of things for you, but you're going to find that we're going to show up on time, in uniform, and really earn your trust.
Yes, yes. And speaking of trust, that's important because, letting people into your home is a big deal.
Yes.
So when you were talking about branding, the Ace name, also with you, I've known you for some time now, and that gives me comfort knowing that anyone Rebecca is sending to my home, I can trust that person.
Absolutely. So the way here in Indianapolis, there are 3 franchise offices, and we all work really closely together. So there are certain service territories that we have to honor, but because we work together, we can service all of Indianapolis. One of us will be helpful, and we work very similarly. Having said that, the other thing that's true is that we actually, all of our craftsmen and handymen on our team are W-2s. They are employees of ours. That's how we know that you're going to be in good hands. They're not subcontractors. They're my employees, and they're vetted and background checked and licensed, insured, and bonded.
Oh, that's important. That's important too. Wow. Because things can be sketchy,
Yes,
be really sketchy, but this is very
absolutely.
reassuring.
This is your home or your business. It's your most valuable asset that you're likely to own. And so you want to handle it with care, and so do we.
Right, right. So instead of randomly finding someone on Facebook Marketplace or look, I will call Rebecca any day, anytime. But I need to fix my crown molding, or my
Absolutely.
faucet or things like that. So yes, that's great news. So tell us, I know you have some exciting things coming up you're working on. How's that going?
Right now, we are 3 years open on March
Yes.
1st. So that is a big
Congratulations.
milestone for us, really digging into the community and having those repeat clients. So that's very exciting. I know that I'm coming back to kind of work in the Indy 500 again for this month of May. It's just an honor to come back and work for a race team for a few weeks and experience that. And then, I'm just going to build this business, but I'm also always thinking about what's next. And and so I envision I've so many friends that have kind of dipped their toe into, whether it's writing books, or I'm just trying to figure out the right way to share my story about risk taking. I've moved
Mhm.
countries, I've entered industries that I had no knowledge of. And I just feel like I have a story to tell about, kind of digging deep and taking those adventures as they come to you one at a time.
I completely support that. I would love, love, love to read that because, from your perspective, navigating, moving to a different country, navigating, industry that is male dominated, I think there's something that you have that we need to hear. But I'm excited to also say that you are one of our boss ladies that we're featuring
Yes,
this year. So people can get a glimpse of that story before you write the whole book in a magazine because you're going to be featured. And I'm telling you, very inspiring, Rebecca, like very inspiring. So I'm thankful for everything that you're doing and just keeping on because you're making a mark, you're leading the trail. You know what I mean? Like you're helping us lean into who we are and not giving up.
I'm so excited about this event, this Boss Ladies event. What can you not love about being in a room with other inspiring women that are making a difference here in Indianapolis? Like, how do you not leave there energized and want to take on the world? March 15th, I'll be there.
Yes, March 15 at the 502 Event Center. So really excited about that. If anyone's getting their ticket, this is a time for you to get it. But I want to ask you a couple of questions before we wrap this up. What are you doing? What are one of the biggest things that you do for your marketing and your branding?
That has been another one of those odd navigating things I didn't know. This was not something I have ever had to do before. I've really learned that leaning into the woman owned messaging is really important. People want to do business with people. My goal is, I just love working. I love working with anyone, but women in particular, I would love to work with. So the marketing strategy is really around what's in my heart.
Mm.
I want to work with young women when they buy their first home and get them into, build their little oasis of a home. But then when they move into their big girl home and build their families and are deciders of the home improvement there, they already have us as a home ally. And then eventually women most likely are going to become caregivers of their aging loved ones. And how does our team, our handyman team, our expert team, keep them in their home longer and safer? So I spend a lot of time on social, of course. You'll see our ads and videos on YouTube. And we are just really trying to get the message out. A lot of people don't know that Ace has a handyman service. So share the good news, tell your friends.
Yes, now you know. You can't say you don't know. Make sure you're making that call. I trust Rebecca. She's very well trusted in the Indianapolis area. We know a lot of same network of people, and I know that a lot of people will say the same about you, and also and all the services that your team provides too. So um, last words. What do you have as an encouraging or inspiring word for any woman-owned business out there, whether they've started their business or not, and maybe they're just stressed about navigating starting their business, or especially if they're in a male-dominated industry? What words do you have for them?
The main words are, you are not alone. My goodness, go find that support network. We're all here. We get it. Being a solopreneur in particular it's lonely, but if you really look for it, that there is support. And I'm here. Call me, ask me, but you are not alone. It's hard, and you don't fake it or lie about it. It's hard, but it's so rewarding too.
I agree. I agree completely. I just recently became a full-time business owner. And I think that for me, the support that I have in you and everybody else around me is what's keeping me going. Obviously, God, I depend on God completely too, but also having everyone around me, knowing that I can give you a call when I'm like, look, I don't know what this is. So how
Yeah.
do I navigate this? So that's very reassuring. So thank you for making yourself available, for people to call you. And speaking of that, how can we find you? Where can we find you?
You can go to just acehandymanservices.com, and then there's a place to put in your zip code, and it'll direct you to the nearest office. But here, if you're not sure which office services you can just call us. We're at 317-708-7320. But Tiffany and our office team are there to answer any questions, and we'll make sure we find the right people for you.
That's amazing. And I'm going to put all that information in the show notes so that you can easily get access to that. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for coming on today. I'm really excited about your journey, where you came from, where you are, where you're going. And I cannot wait to see you at the gala where we are supporting Pink Ribbon Connection this year.
Thank you, Victoria.
That's it for today's episode. I hope you learned something from the inspiring journey of Rebecca. Please make sure you check the show notes for all of the contact information for Rebecca, and stay tuned for next week's episode. Until next time, make sure you own your brand.